This is the AEW Grandslam Mexico June 18, 2025 full show results video which takes place at Arena Mexico in Mexico City. Hangman Adam Page makes his entrance and gets on the mic and he introduces himself in Spanish and keeps going in Spanish. Excalibur translates some, saying he says he grew up on a farm and talks about the workers who came to take care of that farm and thanks the crowd for having him in their house tonight. He says AEW and CMLL are united in having the best wrestling in the world and calls out our champion, Jon Moxley. He says he won't be wrestling tonight and he's banned from the arena during the main event tonight, but nobody said anything about after the match, and then something about somebody's mother that Excalibur refuses to translate but gets a cowboy shit chant from the crowd and he thanks the crowd again and leaves. Dax Harwood and Stokely Hathaway make their entrance and Stoke gets on the mic. He has good news and bad news, and says the bad news is that Cash Wheeler couldn't make it to the show tonight due to circumstances beyond his control, but the good news is that 1.5 of FTR is here in him and Dax, and he's been working so hard on his Spanish, telling the crowd gracias. Then we saw a match between Adam Cole, Atlantis Jr., Bandito, Brody King, Daniel Garcia, and Templario vs. Dax Harwood, Don Callis family and Volador, Jr., and the result of this match was Adam Cole, Atlantis Jr., Bandito, Brody King, Daniel Garcia, and Templario won the match by pinfall with an inside cradle from Atlantis on Dax Harwood. The next match happened between Okada vs. Mark Briscoe, and the result of this match was Okada defeated Mark Briscoe by pinfall with the Rainmaker. Post-match, Don Callis holds Briscoe up so Okada can clobber him with his AEW Continental Championship belt and they put boots to Mark after. The next match happened between Maxwell Jacob Friedman vs. Mystico, and the result of this match was Mystico won the match by disqualification when MJF has had enough and kicks him low in full view of Remsburg. Post-match, Max puts boots to Mystico as the Hurt Syndicate get into the fray, beating him down. MJF calls for the unmasking and sits down on the luchador and tears his mask off. Max puts the mask on and Bandito, Templario, and Titan rush to the ring, then Jet Speed appear from behind and send the Hurt Syndicate packing. Then we saw a 4 million peso match between Hologram vs. Leo Rush vs. Mascara Dorada vs. Ricochet, and the result of this match was Hologram won the match by pinfall with a Revolution Argentine powerbomb, earning himself a 4 million peso payday. The next match happened between Mercedes vs. Zuxis for the CMLL World Women's Championship, and the result of this match was Mercedes won the match by pinfall with a diving crossbody, becoming your new CMLL World Women's Champion. Post-match, a Toni Storm vignette plays on the Tron wherein she's playing a fast-talking noir detective who has come to Arena Mexico. Mina Shirakawa appears at the top of the ramp, and Toni Storm is behind Mercedes dressed like Carmen Sandiego Baby. She delivered German suplex sends Mercedes flying and Storm gives chase out of the ring and up to the stage, and then referees breaks it up. Toni grabs a mic from somewhere and shouts, "Let the games begin," before breaking free and making Ramp Angels. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Beast Mordos and Death Riders and Young Bucks vs. Shane Swerve Strickland, The Ops, and Will Ospreay, and the result of this match was Beast Mordos, Death Riders, and Young Bucks won the match by pinfall with a schoolboy pin and a handful of tights from Jon Moxley on Shane Strickland. Post-match, Moxley and the Bucks work Swerve over and Hangman arrives on schedule. Page gets in the ring and starts slugging it out with Moxley punch for punch. Hanger fends Yuta off and gets sent to the apron, lines Moxley up, Buckshot takes a buck out instead because John ducks. Nicholas drags Matthew off and gives Adam a betrayed look. Moxley returns to the ring with the briefcase but finds himself surrounded by the Ops and Ospreay, so Death Riders beat a hasty retreat. Hanger charges after the Death Riders up to the stage but referee Rick Knox backs him down and stares the Bucks down on his way back to the ring, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate AEW Grand Slam Mexico show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.